Hey there friends, it's Missy again. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm here with a new layout for the Pinkfresh Studio design team, and I'm going to start this page out with this beautiful floral globe cut file. And I'm going to be scrapping a travel picture. This is me and my husband last year about to take off on a plane for Creativation. And so I'm going to use the Out and About collection, and it's one of the newer collections from Pinkfresh Studio, and it is all about travel. And so I was excited to scrap something different. I usually scrapbook about my children, and I use lots of pinks and aquas and yellows. And so this was fun because it got me out of my comfort zone, and it encouraged me to use different colors than I'm used to, and I really love how this turns out. So that cut file is a Pinkfresh Studio freebie. It's just not available yet. It's coming very soon, so keep an eye out for it. So what I thought I would do is use white as my background and cut the globe on white cardstock, and then just add a lot of paint behind the cut file so it would show through. And I thought, this is a globe. It would be pretty to kind of create a blue earth type of circle behind it. It's going to go with a lot of the blues and greens in this collection. And so that's what I'm going to try to do here. And I'm also going to pull in a lot of the Pinkfresh Studio Liquid Watercolors. So I'm going to prep the page here. I didn't do any gesso work before I added the paint. I just added that first, and now I'm going to come in with some white gesso to prep everything for the watercolors. And so I'm going to be adding quite a bit of water here, and I want to make sure that all the colors are going to blend and gel well together without soaking right through the paper. And when you add liquid on top of dried acrylic paint, it's kind of a slick surface. It's not the same as gesso. And so the gesso has some grit and some texture to it, and it helps the paint to do its thing, I guess you could say. So I just squirted a little bit of green, dark blue, and aqua into my little tray there, and I'm just kind of, you see here, dabbing it on, spritzing it with some water, letting the paper kind of twist and turn and run, using my brush to help smudge it around. I just kind of wanted some greens, some blues, and just some different shades here and there. And I know it just looks like a big messy circle at this point, but once it's all dry and all the colors are done and the cut file is on top of it, it looks really, really different, I think. And I always say that when I make mixed media backgrounds, it always looks like a hot mess when you're making it, but then when you add everything back on top of it, it transforms and it looks a lot better. So here's where I decided I may have made a mistake. I don't know what got me to wanting to add some yellow to this background, but I started to mix some of the yellow and the orange. I was trying to, I know I haven't pulled any of the collection out to see. I've got a lot of it spread out over to the left of your screen there, but there's like an orangey yellow color that is in this collection. And so I thought I would add a little bit of that color on the background. And here on the screen in my lights, it looks lime green. And the more I added it, the more lime green it looked. And I thought, well, if you look at a globe, there's lots of different shades of blues and greens. So I thought, well, I'll just work with it and go from there. And I wind up working with it a lot. I let it dry. See how different it looks when you add everything back on top of it. It doesn't look like such a hot mess anymore, right? So I'm going to keep working at it here. I do let it dry at some point and then come back over it with some more colors. I don't film the entire process of me working on this background because I tend to take way too long, and we would be here all day watching paint dry, literally. So here you can kind of see how it looks now. It looks a little more yellow, but still has a green tint to it. So I wanted to use one of the stitched frames from this collection, and this one fit perfectly. Now I'm not going to put the frame on top of my picture, but the way that wander word is stitched, it kind of comes up a little bit, and I was able to tuck the picture right inside of it, and you can see all the different rainbow colors very, very small on either side of the picture. So the picture is going to overlap this big flower here in the middle, so you're not going to really be able to see this big flower, but you're going to be able to see this flower here to the left that I'm painting, and then the leaves over on the right. So I thought, I don't want to leave that part white. I want to add pops of color. And so I went back to the watercolors and decided to paint the flower on the left, kind of that orangey red color. Again, that's a prevalent color in this collection. And then I'm going to paint the leaves sort of a bluish green here. And I didn't add any gesso to that. I just wanted to, you know, add a little bit of color. And as it dries, it's going to get lighter. And I'm going to kind of go back over it as it dries, and as the layout progresses, I'll add more layers of color to it. And there's so many cute embellishments. There are die cuts, there are layered stickers here, there are puffy stickers, there are tags, all kinds of cute stuff. 2 sheets of like cardstock stickers, and everything that I picked up just went. It just matched, and it was so hard to pick and choose. And so a lot of this layout is me just trying things out. I knew I wanted a lot of things around the photo, and then I'm going to create another cluster up in the upper left portion where you see that enjoy the journey. But yeah, I'm going to put things on, take things off, and yeah, it was fun to do this because, like I said, it inspired me to go out of my normal girly type of layouts that I normally make and make more of a gender neutral, I guess you could say, because I hardly ever make masculine pages because I have 2 daughters. And so this was fun to do. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue the photo down. I did add some yellow thread behind there to match that orangey golden yellow color. And then I'm going to very lightly start to glue down the globe. And I like how this is looking. I like cut files like this because, you know, you can make it pretty big like this, and it's going to take up the majority of the page. And this one in particular gives you the perfect spot to put your photo. And, you know, you could back this cut file with different pattern papers and make it really colorful. Lots of different possibilities here. Now I did go through and I picked out several pieces, or a couple pieces, that had airplanes on them because we were about to fly. And you know, there are embellishments that involve driving and road trips. I think there's even things on here for a train, all kinds of ways to, you know, for transportation. And so I tried to incorporate the things that had a plane on it. And then I noticed there are tons of circle elements. And since the globe is a circle, I thought, well, I'll just create a little circle cluster up at the top. And I'm trying to pull all of the main colors. I want something yellow, something aqua, something red. And I'm just, like I said, I put something here, I try it, I put it back, I try something else. Everything just, it was hard to pick. It was hard to pick. I'm going to use another little circle right there to the right of the photo. And it says something about exploring, I think. And that's a puffy sticker. And I'm going to come back in with some of the yellow thread to tie that into the thread that I've got by the photo there. And again, that just adds another pop of that yellow color, adds some texture and some interest. And you know, I like the thread because it just kind of adds to the messy factor. I like those messy backgrounds, and just kind of adds to that. Now I'm going to come in with a different color here. This is an aqua color, and I'm going to tuck that in those leaves over there on the right. And something, I know I've said this before, but I love about cut files that have leaves or flowers, and when you paint them like this, you see how the leaves are curling up? They just do that because it's paper, and I added water to it, and it's perfect for leaves and flowers because they just curl up and they look so dimensional, and they, you know, look a little more realistic and create lots of depth. And it's perfect because that's one of my favorite things about those type of cut files. You don't want to glue it down completely flat. So that's where I came back in with some more of the watercolor to add some deeper color onto that flower and those leaves. I added some more aqua thread up into the little cluster there. There's some arrows, and I like the way the arrow was kind of pointing in the same way as the plane. And again, that adds that pop of aqua in that area. And then this is a little sticker tab that says "You are here." More circles are going to go here to the left. And I tend to shy away from red a lot, but I love this shade of red in this collection because it's kind of an orangey red, and it just matches this collection perfectly. Now for my title, I found this word "fly." It's on one of the tags, and I just decided to cut it out instead of use it as an actual tag because I wanted something along the lines having to do with flying or airplane or air for my title. And so I found that on a tag, and so I just fussy cut that out, and fly is pretty much going to be the title. You know, sometimes titles take me forever to come up with, and sometimes you know you can just go very simple and do all of your explaining in your journaling. And sometimes the title is the most fun part. Sometimes it's just a boring old title, and that's okay, because you know, every layout's different, and the way you create it is different, the meaning of it is different. I am going to use this little puffy sticker here that says getaway, so I guess technically it's fly getaway, even though that doesn't really make any sense. Maybe it's just two separate titles. It can be whatever you want it to be, but yeah, I like how that looks. And I like the fact that the fly letters are navy blue, so they really pop off of that background and stand out. So I'm going back to the puffy stickers and just continuing to add little things here. I'm going to use that little yellow puffy circle that says sightseeing on top of the red flower to give it a center. And then there's a little camera I'm going to stick there, and that's a puffy sticker. And then on this little pack of embellishments, there are epoxy stickers and there are enamel dots. And so I'm going to use pretty much almost all of the navy blue dots to add pops of that dark color here and there. I'm getting close to being finished here. I do decide to add some splatters of the dark navy blue, so I mixed some of the royal blue watercolor with black, and that created the perfect navy blue color. So I'm just going to very carefully splatter that down. Miraculously, I did not get any on my photo, which is rare. And then the last thing I'm going to do is come in with my ruler and draw some lines and add my journaling, and I think that's going to wrap it up. Here comes the final layout. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Keep a lookout for that beautiful cut file. I think you guys will love it. And I love how this turned out. It was fun to get messy. And I love all the pops of yellows and reds. And it's just a great collection. And I have lots of travel photos that I haven't scrapped. And so this was definitely inspiring me to get those scrapped. So thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure you check out the Pinkfresh Studio blog, the Pinkfresh Studio shop, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.